Hey guys, and welcome back to the My Pro in VFL series with VFL Manchester City. Get ready for a very, very long episode. We've got 7 games in today's episode. Premier League games, Champions League and FA Cup. So it's going to be quite a long video. Heading into today's weekend, we are 3rd in the league, 1 point behind Norwich and Liverpool, both the leaders. So it's an interesting weekend. The title race is still wide open at this point. We've got 5 league games, an FA Cup game and a Champions League game. Can we challenge these two teams above us and potentially overtake them in the standings? The first game of today's episode, though, is the FA Cup game against Arsenal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Arsenal are arguably the strongest side on PS4 along with Norwich, and the fact that we drew 0-0 to them in the league was kind of a huge let-off because they absolutely battered us. This time around, they weren't taking any prisoners. Young keeper opens the score 3 minutes into the game. A horrifying start. You don't want to go behind against a team like that because it's hard enough as it is to defend a 0-0 against these. When you go 1-0 down, you're pretty much putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. However, unlike the last game against Arsenal, we were more in this one. It was more even than the one-sided affair we saw at the Emirates. This is an even game with two teams creating half chances, getting near the goalkeepers without really threatening them too much. It was an end-to-end game with a few half chances. As I said, here they play it across the box and it goes narrowly wide, but we've had similar chances as well in that first half. Here I'm on the ball, I get dispossessed by my own teammate and plays it off to Daniel O'Hare. The shot gets blocked, and as you can see, it's really tough to break down a team like Arsenal. They're obviously one of the best and chances are very scarce in a game like this, but there they have a long shot which was well saved by Lavo. It looks like we're going into half time at 1-0 down. Not what you want, not ideal on your first competitive game on Wednesday. They do get the corner. Is anything going to come from this one? It's young keeper who whips one in. Lavo doesn't really come out for that. We do manage to eventually clear it, and that is how the half should end. Unless they get another chance. No, it's half time. I'm sorry, there's so many highlights in today's episode that I can't really remember how I edited it. But there you can see the stats. Like I said, an even game at half time. Both teams having some decent chances. The best chance in the second half after a minute already. Once again, we weren't really aware of the danger early on in the second half. They hit the post on the other side 10 minutes later. We have a long shot with Daniel O'Hare that just goes over, but it stays 1-0. The best chance for Manchester City is right here. Our manager goes through and he takes the shot really early. I do believe he thought he was offside, but he wasn't, and that was the biggest chance we got in that game, and we couldn't take it. And as you can see by the end game stats, we actually put up a proper fight. But that is justice for what happened in the league. Arsenal should have won that game. They didn't. We ended up losing a game where we probably didn't deserve to lose. But anyway, the second game of today's episode is not a Premier League game. This is actually the Champions League game against QPR. Now you're wondering, why is QPR in the Champions League? They finished top 4 the last season of PS4 FIFA 16, so they got in. We're playing them, and we once again had a horrifying start to the game. We went 1-0 down early on, trying to get back, trying to fight an uphill battle is not easy, but this is not an Arsenal team. This is QPR, and we are relatively confident in our abilities that we can take these, but we actually go 2-0 down, which is just not what you want in a game like this. We go 2-0 down against QPR, and we need to rectify the situation before the end of the half, because in these types of games, when things go wrong, you can hear moaning and complaining in the team, and it just becomes a very, very hostile environment. So we need to get back into the game as soon as possible before everything blows up. I go through on Frank's pass, I drill it across to the far post, drive it low into the bottom corner, get us back into the game. 34 minutes, 2-1 to QPR still, but we have a chance. We're putting on the pressure. We're definitely the better side in this one. We are dominating them. Once again, I go through a very, very similar finish. Dispatches that one in the bottom corner, and it's 2-2 within 2 minutes. 2 goals for myself in 2 minutes. 2 identical goals. I'm not complaining. I'll take anything that I can get, and as you can see, we're now 2-2. What a first half this has been. QPR putting up a good fight, but once again, we stay in control, we keep dominating, we're looking for that 3-2 lead. At half-time, you can see they only had 2 chances and put them both away, so fair play to them. They did well to come this far, and there we go. It could be my hat-trick, but no, unfortunately, it's offside from that worked free kick. Still looking for that third goal. I'm go through here, a lovely bit of skill, cut inside, pass it across. The goalkeeper actually left his goal wide open, and looking back at that, I just wish I took the shot at the near post instead of looking for that pass. But once again, luck is not on our side. And there, my guy couldn't get on the rebound from Daniel O'Hare's shot. And that is how the game ends. It's a 2-2 draw, which, hey, I'll be honest, I when we were 2-0 down, I would take a 2-2 draw, but you can see by the stats, we were in complete control, and that draw means that we are now second in our table in Group B. We just need to avoid a heavy defeat against Bayern Munich on the final game in the Champions League group stages, and we'll be through to the knockout, so not all is lost because of that draw. We're finally heading into some Premier League games for the first time in today's episode. The first game is against Chelsea. You'd think this is a big game, but Chelsea, in all honesty, are somewhere down the bottom half of the table. They're not doing too great. Early on, 1 minute into the game, we've already hit the post, so we make our attacking intentions clear. Chelsea, however, look a little bit better than the standings probably give them credit for. They're playing well, they're trying to go forward, creating half chances here and there. We're going through again with Frank, who's looking to create a lovely bit of skill twice, plays it across the box and just driven wide by Dip. Still 0-0 half an hour into the game. Frankie picks up the ball, takes the shot and surprises the goalkeeper, but that being said, no goalkeeper is saving that, even if they're aware of that shot. In off the post, brilliant finish, a 1-0 lead for Manchester City. The first time in today's episode we actually take a lead and don't go 1 or 2-0 down, which is good. You can see by the halftime stats, dominant performance from Manchester City. We're playing finally a little bit better than we did against Arsenal and QPR. We're getting some shots going, some chances going. The second half, unfortunately, did not have anything notable to show you. You could see the stats at the end. 7 shots, 4 on target. We just won the game, we did our job, and that's all we wanted from that game. 3 points against Chelsea was a very, very, very good outcome. Into the next game we go, trying to chase down Norwich and Liverpool in the league. And this game, well, against Everton, it was a good game, I'll say. I had a chance early on with the bicycle kick 20 minutes into the game. Not really doing too much with that. I go through again. My finishing boots weren't on in that game, as you can see. Half time, complete domination. I only decided to show you 2 shots I had because I want to keep the length of the video down, and you'll see towards the end of the video why this video is so long. But there we go, we finally do take the lead. I can't score, but I can set up Frank for the 1-0 just after the second half kicked off. So a very, very good start to that second half. We were dominating the game, and Frank obviously wasn't happy with my finishing. That's why he gave me that little push. So in response to his physical abuse he gave me, this happened. Daniel O'Hare crosses it in, it finds my head, and I put it into the back of the net. So don't touch me ever again, Frank, or there will be troubles. Anyways, 2-0. I finally do get my goal after some poor play, and there we go through again. He sweats it across, and let's not talk about that, shall we? It was just the theme of the night for me. I really did have a poor night that evening. I do manage to set up a couple of goals, which is good, but scoring myself is just not in it today. Daniel O'Hare gets the goal. Lovely finish past the goalkeeper. We're now 3-0 up against Everton, and it looks like to be another 3 points. So 2 wins out of a possible 2 in the Premier League is good. I get another chance towards the end of the game, but the goalkeeper saves, and that is how it ends. A 3-0 win, 6 points from our opening 2 games of this weekend in the Premier League, putting the pressure on both Norwich and Liverpool. So things are looking good. Personally, I wasn't really too happy with my performances in the Chelsea and Everton game. The Champions League was good, but I really need to find my form and consistently keep performing if we want to challenge for the title. This is our lineup for the game against Liverpool. The first time we are playing a 4-2-3-1. It was a tactical decision, and whether it'll pay off or not, we'll find out soon enough. Liverpool obviously challenging for the title as well. This is a huge game. Now Liverpool, obviously at this point, they knew that we were in good form. We picked up a good few Premier League wins. Liverpool themselves have struggled. They couldn't beat Wolverhampton, I do believe. We get a few chances early on. The goalkeeper, Hobnob, making some saves that he should make, really. We didn't really have many clear-cut opportunities that should have been put away. At half-time, we are dominating, though, in this game. Frank gets another chance, and he plays it across. Hobnob took a gamble. He went for the pass, and he got it. If Frank shot in that situation, it probably could have been a goal. Liverpool finally creating a little bit of danger, but not really much to talk about there. 63rd minute, we get the chance. Dips flicks it across into me, and that is just... It's a poor finish, but in those situations, there's only one thing you can do, and that is press, shoot, and aim. Unfortunately, my guy did not put enough power on it. He did put enough power on that one. The knockdown from Dips, again, working very effective, but I just can't score right now. The chances we had and didn't take were bound to get punished, and that's all they needed to do to score a goal. Liverpool take the lead in the 79th minute. A simple through ball down the line. The cross the header, and it's 1-0, and we genuinely couldn't believe this. 86th minute, still trying to get back into the game, pushing numbers forward, and there is Dips to make it 1-1. 4 or 5 minutes before the end of the game, and at this point we're thinking a point is good enough. It's still in our hands. If we draw the game, we should probably take the draw, and that's what we're going for. Unfortunately, Liverpool get a corner in the 89th minute, and just look at this. Rebound, goal, 2-1 down. It wasn't going to happen, that game. Genuinely, everything seemed to be working against us. Liverpool fought hard to stay in the game. I felt like we dominated the game. We did get caught out in the end, and that's the 3-1, but that doesn't really matter too much. The fact of the matter is, we tried to dominate this game, score goals, and win the game. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the luck on the goal-scoring side of things, and Liverpool pretty much scored with every little chance they got. So fair play to them. This is why they're in the title race. They can grind out results like this. Now, the endgame facts may suggest that they dominated the game, but trust me, from my perspective, I thought we deserved at least a draw out of that one. Even the goalkeeper after the game admitted that, saying that to me in private messages, that we played well, so fair enough. Into the Wolverhampton game we go. We need to redeem ourselves. This Wolverhampton team is currently unbeaten in the VFL at the time of this game, so we know we have a tough task ahead of us. We do take the lead 18 minutes into the game. Daniel O'Hare puts us 1-0 up, so that's good. Wolverhampton, very, very solid side. They're battling for Europa League spots, and after that defeat against Liverpool, it was necessary to have a good response in this game. I go through, I can't finish, so I may as well go for the pass. Daniel O'Hare gets his second goal of the game. Very happy with that. I get the assist, I'll take that. I've been assisting more than scoring, which is absolutely fine by me. Those two goals were the only things I could show you from that first half. Those were the only highlights there were. Frankie does make it 3-0 early on in the second half. 54th minute. Lovely finish. Goalkeeper has absolutely no chance. And that is the unbeaten run from Wolves ended. And there was a bit of a situation on the forums where they were, I don't want to say bragging about their unbeaten run, but they were mentioning it in the threads, and people kind of took offense to that. I'm not sure why. And this was our response to that. So we beat them 3-0. It's a very, very, very good performance. Back on track. The title race does seem like it's not for us anymore. It's between Norwich and Liverpool. However, Liverpool actually managed to drop points the game after they played us. So it seems like it's Norwich's for the taking. Norwich are 4 points clear at this point. Norwich are probably the main title contenders at this stage. Against VFL Darby, this is a game we had to catch up on because they couldn't play the night we were supposed to play them in week 2. So this is a rescheduled game, and they only had about 5 or 6 players, so we should really win this one comfortably. We go 2-0 up early on, they bring one back, lose us the clean sheet, and the next few minutes that you're going to see is exactly why this video is just too long. Ben Airfield makes it 3-1 on the corner. 26 minutes into the game, you can already sense where this is going. I go through on goal, I play it across. It's 4-1, 36th minute. I'm not even showing you the goal scoring graphics anymore with the drop, because it's just going to be too annoying to do that for every single goal in this game. We do eventually make it 5-1 in the, well, here's a drop and goal graphic. I'm going to do it for just the strikers and the forwards. A lot of people got on the score sheet in this game. I go through myself, ball roll the keeper, put it into an empty net. It's 6-1 in the 56th minute. This is just pretty much the easiest game we've played all season. Fair play to the guys who turned up from Darby, because this must be demotivating to come on and play still. I do get myself an assist here, 7-1 in the 75th. It's like target practice at this point. I play through Frank, who's going to round the keeper here. Lovely work, and another assist for me, so that's important. Keep note of the amount of assists I'm picking up. That could be relevant towards the end of the season. Frank makes it 9-1 in the 81st minute. Could this be a record-breaking victory for Manchester City? The ball gets played over to me, and I blast it past the two defenders on the line. It's 10-1 in a VFL game. Now, this isn't obviously any advertisement for VFL, because this is not how it should be. This should be competitive play, and this game was just one of those freak games you get every few months, I guess, where a team isn't just up for the task, and we do beat them 11-1. Myself picking up 2 goals and 4 assists. So let's take a look at some of the stats at the end of this weekend. Norwich 4 points clear of us and Liverpool. It seems like the title is theirs. However, Norwich have to play Liverpool and Manchester City ourselves in the final weekend, so things could become interesting. The top scorers rankings, you can see me in 6th, JCC in 7th. If you're interested in his series, he's doing that as well. For assists, I'm leading though in the league. 12 assists, together with Nelly Machiavelli, and when you sort it by player value and team of the season points, I'm actually, statistically speaking, the Premier League's most valuable player. I thought I'd include that in because I usually don't get those kind of stats, so I'm very happy to see that the stats are in my favour for this one. I should be on course for making team of the season, but who cares about that? I want to win the league. We've got 4 games remaining. In the next episode, the title race will be wrapped up. We're playing against Norwich, Manchester United, Newcastle, and a 4th team that I can't just remember at this point. But anyways, it's shaping up to be an interesting end to the season. I hope you're looking forward to that. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Hey guys, and welcome back to the MyPro